Hi everyone, it's Lynn Dion from Pink Whisper Designs. Today I want to show you how to make a really fun, kind of a different square card. It's called a Twisted Easel card. And we're going to be using these brand new stamps from the Art Impressions collection. This is the watercolor snow globe set. And you can see you get all the pieces to design and build a beautiful snow globe. And there are also snow globe domes available for this set as well. Now I recently created an ornament using this set, so I will link that down below for you so you can take a look at it. And you also get the coordinating dies. That circle is to create your globe portion of the snow globe. And you can see that the base of the snow globe is part of the stamp set. And you also get some additional dies, some little snowflakes and leaves and a couple little stars. So it's a really fun little set. Now I grabbed the snowman. We're going to go ahead and stamp him. I'm using my Stampendable stamp press, and there I'm just showing you that I bought the pink one. Of course I had to buy the pink one even though I already have the black one, but I have them both nearby, so usually I lose things, so when I lose one I know I can find the other. And I don't know if you're like me, but that happens all the time. So I've got some really pretty cardstock here. This is a double-sided paper, and I've selected quite a few for this card. And these are from the Art Impressions Mini Paper Pack. And you can see this pretty double-sided paper. I'll give you a really quick look at that. And what I'm going to do is paper piece the hat and the scarf. So this beigey color with the little dots on it is going to be for his hat. So let's go ahead and quickly stamp that. For all the stamping, I'm using the Versafine Onyx black ink, and I'm placing these inside my mini MISTI stamp positioner. So all I need to stamp is that hat portion, and then from this dotted paper, I'm going to do the scarf. Now you could certainly just color these in. I just wanted to coordinate the hat and the scarf with the background papers that I'm going to be using. So let's go ahead, just ink up that little scarf, and we can stamp that. So the only thing I have to color in is the little snowman. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the haze blue just to give it kind of a frosty look. And I'm using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens to color that in. And I'm using the Zig Blender pen to do my blending. So just some really easy coloring. I'll grab that brick beige and color in the little arms. And the colors I'm using today are listed in the upper left-hand corner as we're going along. And then I added a little bright yellow to the carrot nose and some pink haze on the cheeks. So I've got my detail scissors, and I'm going to cut out the little hat and the little scarf, and you can see those there. And then we'll cut out the snowman as well. But for this one, I'm going to leave a little white border all the way around. I did not do that for the hat and the scarf because I want to paper piece those right over top. So I don't want any of that white. But for this little snowman, I am going to leave that little white edge. So I went ahead and finished cutting that out, and now we can glue the hat and scarf on. I'm using the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive, and I'm just spreading it out with my finger a little bit just so I don't get too much glue. And you can see how cute and easy this is to do this paper piecing. So that's a closer look at the little snowman. Now I've got this beautiful snowflake frame. This is from Art Impressions, and this is also a brand new frame set. And you get those additional snowflakes with this set as well. So I've grabbed the Lawn Fawn Pixie Dust cardstock. This is a really pretty sparkly cardstock. And then I've got 3 pieces of additional cardstock. We're going to die cut several of that frame. And I'll also use that Pixie Dust cardstock to die cut some of those snowflakes. So the top layer of the frame and the snowflakes will be with that pretty glittery effect. And then these are the additional layers that I die cut, and we're just going to pop those behind that glitter piece. So that when we stack these up, we'll have a nice thick frame. Now from that same paper pack, I'm grabbing another one of these papers that I showed you earlier, and this one is the light blue with the white dots, and it has that pretty back on it. And for this card, you do want the back of this to be just as pretty because it is going to show. So the back of mine will be those little hearts. So let's go ahead and cut this down so that it fits right behind that frame. I just marked it with a pencil so that I could cut it down easily. And you can see that fits right behind there. And then we have the little snowman. He's going to sit right at the very bottom of this frame, so I'm going to go ahead and glue him down. Now you could certainly add some trees or ornaments hanging from the top, whatever you want to do here. So have some fun with this, but for mine, I'm just going to add that little snowman. There's also a deer in this collection and a little church, which would both be really, really nice here. So let's grab the sentiment that says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." I'm just going to kind of center it up towards the top there. I can go ahead and remove that frame. I was just using it for the placement of my stamp. And then let's go ahead and ink this up. So now that we have that stamped, we can glue the frame and this background layer together. Again, we have that nice thick frame now with all those beautiful layers. So I'm just going to round off the edges of this and trim away any excess. So there you can see the finished frame. For cardstock, I've got some Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. This measures 10 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to score it at the 5-inch mark because we are making a square card. But ours is going to have that little twist because we're going to turn it into an easel card as well. So let's go ahead and press out that crease. And then what we want to do is draw a score line from that corner on the left up to the right hand corner. So I'm going to use my little scoreboard to do that. And I'm just showing you that I'm going to just select that first groove there. And that'll make it really easy for me to know where the other point needs to be. So I'm lining up these two corner points right along that score line. And now I can go ahead and score this. You could also use the scoring blade on your cutter if that's easier for you. So once I have that score line, I can go ahead and fold this towards the inside and press that out with my bone folder. And now you can see we've created the basic mechanism for our little easel card, our little twisted easel card. So now let's go ahead and cut some background paper, again from that same paper pack. This will be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I've got this pretty plaid, and then I'm also going to use that kind of peachy polka dot paper. And again, these I showed you earlier as part of that paper pack. Now for the one that's going to be on the front of your card, so whichever one you decide to choose for the front, you want to cut that in half. And again, you want to go corner to corner. I'm just going to cut 2 triangle pieces. And then I'm going to glue these to the front of my card. And that will leave a little tiny 1/8 inch border of white all the way around. Now I will tell you that I did try to not cut this piece in half and glue it to the front of my card, and it just got all buckled up around the fold line. It just got kind of bunched up at the fold line when I did my folding. So I found this looks a lot nicer, a lot neater. So if you cut that pattern paper on an angle and create the 2 triangles, it just fits on your card nice and easily. So again, I'm using that Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to glue these 2 pieces down. I'm putting plenty of glue on there just to make sure that everything lays nice and flat. Now I can go ahead and add that kind of peachy tone on the inside of my card. And I know these colors are a little bit non-traditional, but I just thought it was so pretty to do something a little bit different. Now, if you decide to, you could create this as a winter birthday card as well, using colors like this. Would be really pretty. So now I've laid that frame over top. I haven't glued anything down yet, and I'm marking on the frame where that fold line is. And I'm going to just draw that with a pencil right across the back. So my glue will be from that pencil line down. Remember, you don't want to add glue to the entire piece because then you'll glue the whole piece to the front of the card. We need this to pop up. Now, do keep in mind as well that pattern paper that's going to show on the back, if it has an upside and a downside, you want to make sure that you check and make sure which way the pattern's going so that when the card opens up, you have it right side up. So just double check that, and then we can go ahead and center this and glue that down. You can see there my pretty hearts in the background are going in the right direction. So now that's the basic front part of the easel card. And again, just make sure you don't have any glue up towards the top. So let's add some of those additional snowflakes. Those were die cut from the Snowflakes frame set. And I'm going to add those just to add a little bit more interest and to kind of have them go over the edges a bit, just to make this a little bit more look like it kind of goes on, that it goes a little further on than just the frame itself. I've grabbed a whole bunch more of those snowflakes and I'm going to place those inside the frame as well. We're going to be adding some pretty gems to this, so I wanted to have some snowflakes inside this frame. This frame is great if you want to make some shaker cards. It's really pretty. You could easily turn this into a little shaker card if you wanted to. So I've got all my little snowflakes glued in place, and then I'm going to go to the large snowflakes die set as well. So I'm going to grab like one of the medium size ones, and I decided this one was going to be perfect. This is going to be the piece that holds our easel up. So again, I'm doing the same thing I did before. I've got one piece, the top layer of my snowflake will be this pretty Lawn Fawn Sparkle cardstock, and then I've got I've got three more little snowflakes out of the Strathmore Bristol Smooth 100-pound cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these together. So that'll be thick enough to hold this easel up. So you do want something here that's either thick enough or something you can pop up with some foam tape. You could certainly do the same thing with a sentiment. I just didn't really want the sentiment to be on an angle on the inside of the card, so I thought this snowflake would be perfect. So for right now, I'm temporarily holding it in place, just making sure that that easel is going to lay nice and flat against my snowflake when it's popped up. But I did want to double check that I had this in the center. So I'm just using my ruler, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm right in the center of the card, which would be at 2.5 inches. I can just erase that first little mark that I made now that I have that center point, and that'll help me line up the center of the snowflake right on that pencil mark. Again, I want plenty of glue here. I want to make sure this doesn't move around. This will be holding up that easel. And I also want to make sure I have the two sides of the snowflake that will line up with that folded cardstock so that it'll hold it in place nicely. Let's let that dry and grab some little jewels from the Buttons Galore and More collection, and you can see how pretty these are. These are the silver jewels, and they're really faceted and really, really pretty. So I thought these would be great to put on the inside, one on the center of each of my little snowflakes. And there's 3 different sizes in this set, so it again is going to be great because on the tiny little snowflakes I can use the smallest little gems, and on the larger ones I can use these larger ones. And this, I thought, added a lot to this frame. It just really made everything pop and just kind of made it magical. I'm using my little pickup tool to pick those up and pop those in place. Now for the one inside, I wanted it to have a jewel as well, but I don't want it to stick up because when the card is closed, I don't want it to get caught in there. So I'm going to take one of these medium-sized ones. I'm going to pop it right down inside because remember we stacked up those snowflakes, so I have a little hole there where I can place that little gem. So let me give you a quick look at the finished product. And again, if you get a chance, take a look at that snow globe ornament that I created using this same set. I'll link that down below for you, as well as all the other products I've used today. They will be linked below and also on my blog. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. And I did want to point out that you can sign inside there so that when the recipient sets it up on the table at Christmas time, your little signature will be kind of hidden back there. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you give this a try, and I also hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.